Donald Trump ran for president on a platform of revenge. He promised to investigate his opponents. He threatened to lock them up. He even encouraged violence against protesters at his rallies. This was not normal political rhetoric. It was a dangerous escalation of partisan warfare. Now, Trump is back in power. He has a score to settle, and he has the power of the presidency behind him. This is a terrifying prospect for anyone who has ever dared to criticize him, or even just disagree with him. Many are worried. They fear they will be targeted by Trump's Justice Department. They have good reason to be afraid. Trump has already shown that he's willing to use the law as a weapon against his enemies. Some people hoped that preemptive pardons would protect them from Trump's wrath. President Biden did issue pardons. He pardoned some potential targets. These included January 6th committee members. He also pardoned Dr. Fauci and General Milley. Even members of the Biden family received pardons. But these pardons have limits. They do not offer blanket protection. For example, they do not protect against subpoenas. They do not protect against unrelated criminal investigations, think tax audits, and they do not protect against charges stemming from compelled testimony. This includes perjury or obstruction of justice. There is even a catch. Accepting a pardon might waive your Fifth Amendment rights. That means you could be forced to testify against yourself. The pardons offer some hope, but they are a leaky shield at best. What about fighting back in court? Can you claim you were unfairly targeted? It is possible to argue selective prosecution. This is based on the Fifth Amendment. It guarantees due process and equal protection. You have to prove the charges are motivated by discrimination. This could be your political beliefs, for example, but the Supreme Court set a high bar. In the 1996 case, the court said the burden of proof is on the defendant. You must show clear and convincing evidence of discrimination. This is incredibly difficult. Even with Trump's public threats, it is a tall order. Prosecutors only need minimal evidence of a crime to proceed. The deck is stacked against you. Okay, what about suing afterwards? If you are found not guilty, can you sue for damages? This is another uphill battle. Prosecutors have absolute immunity. This comes from the Supreme Court case, and 2006 makes things even tougher. This case says you have to prove someone than the prosecutor pushed for the charges. Good luck with that. Then there's Trump's presidential immunity. Protects him from lawsuits related to his official actions. To top it off, the government controls evidence. Getting the information you need to prove your case is nearly impossible. Civil lawsuits are a long shot. Section 5. A Supreme Court tilted in Trump's favor. Don't forget about the Supreme Court. The court has a conservative majority. 6 justices were appointed by Republicans. 3 were appointed by Trump himself. This court has already shown a willingness to expand executive power. They have also granted presidents broad criminal immunity. The case is a prime example. This precedent makes it even harder to challenge Trump's actions in court. The Supreme Court is supposed to be a check on executive power, but under Trump it has become an enabler. Section 6. The chilling effect on dissent. The threat of legal retaliation has a chilling effect on dissent. People are afraid to speak out against Trump. They fear they will be targeted by his Justice Department. This is a dangerous erosion of free speech. It undermines our democracy. When people are afraid to criticize the government, it is a sign of tyranny, not democracy. We must fight back against this. We must defend our right to speak truth to power. Silence is not an option. Section 7. A system unprepared for abuse. The American legal system is built on the presumption of good faith. It assumes that prosecutors will act fairly, that they will only pursue cases with merit. But what happens when that presumption is shattered? What happens when the president himself is the one abusing the system? We are in uncharted territory. There are no easy answers. The legal mechanisms we have in place are ill-equipped to deal with this threat. We need to find new ways to protect ourselves. Section 8. The erosion of trust in justice. Trump's legal vendetta is eroding trust in our justice system. People are losing faith that the law will protect them. They see Trump using the law as a weapon. They see his allies getting away with crimes, and they see his opponents being targeted. This is incredibly dangerous. A functioning democracy requires trust in its institutions. Without that trust, the entire system starts to crumble. We need to restore faith in our justice system. We need to hold Trump accountable for his actions. Section 9, navigating the new reality. We're living in a new reality, a reality where the president is not above the law. He is the law. This is a dangerous time for America. We must be vigilant. We must fight back against this abuse of power. We must demand accountability. We must protect our democracy. The future of our country depends on it.